Hey everybody, Cecilia here. If you're new to yoga, welcome. If you're a regular, welcome. If you haven't met me before, I was in UHB Class 5 back in 2022, and I did my 200-hour yoga teacher training through the Veterans Yoga Project, and now each month I guide this class the first Sunday of the month, generally live, but this month had to pivot a little, and that's okay. So for today's flow, if you want to grab any blankets, pillows, blocks, whatever is going to make you cozy, grab it. And we're going to start seated today. I'm going to be on the floor, but everything we do could absolutely be done in a chair instead, if that's better for you today. So as you start to gather up all of your things, allow yourself the space and the time to truly settle into your space and get comfortable. This is your practice. Do what honors your body. Do what honors where you are today. And if that means you want to take a nap for about the next 30 or 40 minutes, feel free to do so. Allowing yourself to notice what you notice as you continue to settle in here. Maybe it's the sounds in your space, the sounds outside of your space even. Just noticing how you're feeling in this moment. And as you continue to settle in, if you've found your seated posture, I invite you to soften your gaze here or close your eyes. And then allow yourself a moment to notice the sensations arising with your eyes closed or your gaze soft. And then allow yourself to shift your awareness to your breath. Just noticing without changing it. But allowing yourself to explore how your breath feels for you in this moment. Maybe it feels warm. Maybe it feels energizing, calming. Notice where you feel your breath. Maybe you feel it in your belly as you inhale and exhale here, or maybe even the ribs or your chest. Once again, just noticing, observing. And if you'd like, we'll take a nice big inhale in through the nose, filling the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then exhale, sigh it out. We'll do another inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. Allowing yourself a moment to return back to your natural rhythm. And once again, allowing yourself the chance to observe your breath. How does it feel? The air coming in and out of your nostrils. Maybe you feel the breath as it moves down through your throat into your chest. Maybe you feel the rise and fall of your clothing. Just observing as we continue to return back to our natural rhythm. And as we continue to breathe here, we'll start to bring some movement to our bodies. So if you're sitting in a cross-legged position, take note of which direction you have your legs crossed here. We're just going to take a moment to extend our legs out, just to rest the back of our knees a little bit. You can give them a little bounce or a little shake here. And then if you'd like to cross your legs back or come back into a low kneeling posture, see if you can cross your legs in the other direction. Allowing yourself the space and time to acknowledge how this feels. So we have a tendency to, have a particular side we like to cross to. And so switching it up can feel a little different. So just allowing yourself, giving yourself that permission to notice. And if it's truly uncomfortable, feel free to switch back. And let's take a nice big inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. And then allow your left ear to tilt toward your left shoulder. Really finding length in the neck and the shoulder here. Continuing to breathe. And then allowing your chin to drift down towards your chest. Allowing your head to hang heavy here. And then allowing your right ear to come towards your right shoulder. Once again, finding length on this side, through the neck and the shoulder. And allowing your chin to come down towards your chest. And then lifting your chin. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can place your hands along your shins here. If you're sitting in your chair, you can place your hands just about your thighs. Sitting up nice and tall, tailbone reaching long down towards the earth. We're going to inhale and start to pull our heart through our shoulders here, lifting our chins as we inhale, and then exhaling and rounding, tucking your chin towards your chest. Inhale, belly softens, heart opens, chin lifts. And exhale around. And let's do about 4 more here at your own pace. Continuing to inhale and exhale here as you move. And then finding stillness here in the middle. We're just going to circle around in one direction, kind of combining that cat and cow with a little bit of flexion to the sides here. You can pair your breath where it feels natural for you. So you may be inhaling and exhaling in different areas than I am. And let's go in the other direction. Making this as big or as small as you would like. And finding some stillness here in the center. Inhaling both arms up and exhale them down. And inhaling both arms up again. And exhale down. A little bit of a shift here. You're going to inhale both arms up. Exhale your left hand down. Option to stay here or start to bend that elbow, lifting up out of the hips, reaching to the side for a side stretch here. Breathing length into that side body that's elongated. And then coming back up, lowering your hand down. Inhale both arms up. Exhaling the right hand down. And then you can stay here or lifting up out of the hips, starting to bend that right elbow and taking a nice side stretch. Once again, breathing length into the side body. And inhaling back up, lowering your arm down. Let's bring both arms in front of us, palms flexed, and then point them down. Back and forth here. And then palms face each other. Open the arms out wide. You can have a slight bend here at the elbows, pulling those arms back. And release them down. So if you like, you can grab your pillow here, or if you've got a bolster or a blanket, you can use this whether you're seated on the floor or in your chair. We're going to do a straddle stretch in yin. This is called dragonfly. So we're going to extend both legs out in front of us. If you're seated in your chair, you can keep the soles of your feet flat and just sort of bring your knees out towards the sides of your chair. And if you're in your chair, you can place your pillow on your lap if you'd like. Giving yourself a moment to adjust here, keeping your hips happy, so you may need to be in a more narrow dragonfly. And deciding for yourself if you'd like to stay here or if you'd like to take a nice inhale in. And as you exhale, you can walk yourself forward on your pillows here. Wiggling your toes, allowing your legs to soften. Maybe wiggling your jaw. Make sure you're not holding any tension there or clenching your teeth together. And let's take a nice big inhale in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Carefully start to walk yourself back up. Move your pillow off to the side, or your bolster or your blanket, whatever you were using, but keep it handy in case you want it for our next posture. So if you're seated in your chair, you're just going to heel toe your feet back together. And if you're on the ground, then we're going to come into tabletop. We're going to go into a child's pose. I'm going to bring my bolster in the front to demo how you can use a bolster or pillows here. You're going to bring big toes to touch. Start to bring your knees out wide and then shift your hips back. And then you can move your pillows to wherever's comfortable. And you can rest your upper body, your head on the pillows. If you're seated in your chair, you can place the pillow over your lap and you can fold forward over your pillow. This is a good yin posture because it allows us to protect our organs, which can help us if we've been in that fight or flight for a bit or had our levels elevated. When our organs are protected, it can signal our body to help the rest of us relax. And if you'd like, taking a nice big inhale in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. And we'll be here for about 5 breaths. Carefully start to bring some movement to your fingers. Lift your head and carefully walk yourself up. Moving this out of the way. And then grab a blanket or a block if you're seated on the floor. We are going to go into Sleeping Swan, or in other lineages, this is called Pigeon. If you are seated in your chair, what you're going to do is cross at the ankle, or so you can have your leg extended long and cross at the ankle, or if you have the soles of your feet flat on the floor in your chair, you can cross your ankle at the knee and be in more of a figure four. This is also an option if you're on the floor and you prefer to take that figure four, or even lay down and take the figure four. You can stay here, thread through. I'm going to show an option on how to safely get into Pigeon or Sleeping Swan here. I'm going to use my block for my hip, but you could use a blanket. You could also use a pillow. You could place it under your hip or under your knee here. I'll show you how to get there. So, a couple options. You can start in tabletop or in down dog. I personally prefer down dog. And I'm going to lift my left leg here. I'm going to bring my left knee towards my left wrist. I'm going to bend my back leg. I'm going to grab my block and then sort of scooch my right leg back so that I'm on the block here. And you can come further up. You can stay down. One of my favorites is to bring a pillow or my bolster forward and sort of lay here. And you're going to place your leg where it's comfortable. So some people have more of that 90 degrees, or you may be closer in with the foot closer towards that back leg. Totally fine. Do what's best for you. Make your adjustment here. And if you'd like, take a nice big inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. We'll be here for about 5 more breaths. If you've got a sturdy book and not blocks, you could use a book also, just to throw that in there. And carefully move all of your props and things out of the way here. I'm going to come back into my tabletop briefly so I can move my block to the other side. And same thing if you are seated in your chair, uncross, and then you can do the other side, deciding if it's best to do ankle or to cross at the knee. And I'm going to press once again into my downward dog here. And this time, I'm going to bring my right knee towards my right wrist. I'm going to bring my block behind me and sort of scooch my left leg back. And allow yourself to do what's best for this side, allowing it to be new, adjusting to where you need to be. This is good for the hips. A lot of times we may, store some things in our hips, and we use them for pretty much everything. So let's give them a nice little stretch, little break here. And take a nice big inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. Carefully start to lift yourself up. Move your pillow out of the way. Place your hands down so you can come back into your tabletop. Or if you're seated in your chair, just moving your pillow away and placing your hands on your thighs. And just take a couple cat and cows here. You can do it seated in your chair or seated on the floor if tabletop is not so great for you today. And then carefully, we're going to come onto our backs if we are on the floor. If you're seated in your chair, you're going to plant the soles of your feet flat on the earth, or place, if you've got some like sturdy books or blocks, place the 2 blocks beneath your feet. And we're just going to windshield wiper our legs side to side here. And find some stillness here in the middle. And you're going to hug your left knee in towards your chest. If you are seated in your chair, you can grab under your thigh and lift your legs. You'll probably look more like a 90 degree like this, and lift under your thigh. If you're on the floor like me, you can hug your knee in towards your chest. And whether you're in your chair or on the floor, decide for yourself if you want to extend that right leg out long. And take a nice big inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. And carefully bring your left foot back flat on the mat. And bring the right foot to meet it. You can be in stillness here, or maybe once again, shifting the legs side to side here. And then carefully bringing the right knee in towards the chest and grab behind the knee, the thigh here, or on the outside of that shin. Deciding for yourself if it's best for this side to extend that left leg out long or to keep it where it is. Honoring how this side feels instead of trying to just make it even. And take a nice big inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. Carefully bring the sole of your right foot flat on the mat or the floor here, and bring the left foot to meet it. And then take about the next 5 or 6 breaths to do any movement that feels good for you, and then come into your resting posture. Whatever that resting posture, whatever Shavasana looks like for you today. So if you want to take the next 5 breaths to maybe grab your pillows and your blankets and get all nice and cozy. Or even if you want to prop your pillows up against a wall if you're near a wall. Whatever's best for you. I'm going to sit up for these next few moments of our practice as I do our meditation, but feel free to lay down, turn off your lights, cover up with a blanket, whatever is going to make you comfortable and cozy for these next few minutes. And as you start to settle in to your resting posture, just a gentle reminder that even though we're coming to stillness, we're more so coming to stillness of the mind and focusing on the breath and sensations. So keeping with that, honor yourself, and if at any time your resting posture starts to feel not so restful, give yourself permission to move and find that posture that's going to feel better for you to rest. And if you want, you can soften your gaze here, close your eyes, give yourself a chance to notice how you feel in this new posture. Allowing yourself to notice the sensations you may feel, the sounds within or possibly outside of your space. And then allow yourself a moment to notice the points of contact that you have between yourself and maybe your mat or the floor, or yourself in the chair, or yourself in the wall. Noticing those supports and reminding yourself that you are in a supported space, so you can allow yourself to bring some softness into your body and rest. Noticing if you are holding your shoulders away from the mat or the wall or the chair, and seeing if you can allow some heaviness to come into your shoulders so that you can ease a bit of tension you may be holding throughout your upper arms, your forearms, and even into your hands. Notice once again if you're clenching your jaw, maybe bringing some space between the upper jaw and the lower jaw here. Giving your tongue a little wiggle, allowing your cheeks to be soft. And as you continue to breathe here, inhale and then exhale, maybe just 1% more of it, any tension you might feel throughout your body. Noticing if you're clenching your glutes or your quads or your hamstrings. And on your next inhale and exhale, allowing a bit of softness to come to those areas. Noticing if you're flexing through your ankles and toes. Maybe give your toes a little wiggle to signal your legs to soften here. And if you'd like, I invite you to take a nice big inhale in through the nose and exhale, sigh it out. Continuing to breathe here. In and out. Allowing yourself to notice how it feels to inhale and exhale. Bringing your awareness to how it feels. Noticing the kind of breath you're taking. Maybe it's a full breath where you feel the belly and the ribs and the chest rise. Or maybe you've noticed your shallow breathing. Just noticing. And wherever you are, take a nice big inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. And for today's meditation, we're going to do what's called gratitude for life's gifts. So I'll count to 3 and you can count along with me in your head. And at each count, I'm going to offer a gift. I'm going to offer them today because this may be something new to you. But once you've gone through it, you'll be able to take this with you off the mat and go through your own gifts whenever you feel like you may need that sort of support or encouragement. So continuing to breathe here. We're going to count to 3. And for each number, I'm going to name a gift. 1, the gift of life. You are alive today. You have been brought into this world. You feel and taste and see each day on this earth. Two, the gift of hearing. For you are listening to this meditation with your ears, and that is an indescribably beautiful gift. Three, the gift of your heart. I want you to bring your attention, your awareness to your heart. I invite you to maybe place a hand over your chest and feel your heart beat. A gift in itself. I want you to be grateful for all the love you've given and all of the love that you've received. And we'll take the next 10 breaths here to focus on these gifts and how they manifest for you. The sensations that arise in you from these gifts. And from this place of gratitude, the support that you have cultivated for yourself throughout this practice, start to bring your awareness back to your body and take any movement that you would like to take. Give yourself a chance to maybe play here a little bit as you start to awaken the body and come back into your space. Whatever that looks like for you, wiggling fingers and toes, stretch overhead, maybe a little shake. And then if you'd like, maybe roll onto the left side or the right side and take a few breaths. Maybe blink your eyes open here. And when you're ready, if you're not already in your chair, you can press yourself up to a comfortable seated position here as we close out our practice today. Let's inhale our arms up, bringing fingertips to touch. And then as we bring our hands down, pausing at our foreheads, gentle reminder to think positively about yourself as you go throughout the rest of your week and month. Pausing here at your lips, reminding you to speak positively about yourself, to yourself. And then lastly, pausing here at your heart, reminding you to extend that same loving kindness that you extend to others, to yourself. Reminding you to give yourself the same grace that you give to others. And allow your hands to flip down to your lap here if you'd like. Let's take another big inhale in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. And another inhale in. And exhale, sigh it out. It's always a pleasure. I hope you all have a wonderful October, and I will hopefully see you live in November. Om Shanti. I will see you all later.